we're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on. So today we have a powerful, we'll call it a power move. Today is Karma Day. We have Saturn in Aries, and this is going to shape the next couple of years of our life, but specifically the next couple of months until September. And this is fiery energy to work with. I feel it is powerful for helping us to burn through, we call it like healing by fire, but it's to burn through karmic imprints, karmic blocks, karmic wounds, karmic connections that are holding you back. We're going to see huge transformation in these areas, anything to do with karma, divine timing, things like that. So let's go ahead and we're going to talk today about how this may affect twin flames, because it's going to help you kick off a new cycle. And this is specifically something that might be part of your twin flame journey, what you're trying to release, heal, and let go of. So we'll go into this today. We're going to start with a reading for the divine feminine side of things. I remind you to do the one-on-one readings on my website, the phone calls, to go into your specific situation. So only take what resonates for your situation. Always encouraging you to do the phone calls with me. I have twin flame readings and of course coaching. I am an energy healer. I have a ton of healings, clearings, and activations on my website, which will really help you if you're needing a shift, needing healing in an area, or just feeling stuck. So, and I've brought some nice cards today. Let's go ahead and start with the divine feminine side of things, just to see what is going on. Divine feminine collective, divine masculine. If you're watching, direct messages from your feminine. I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. Okay, so this is your awakening affects your sense of self in a good way. It's like you literally, I want to call it burn. You literally burn through your old self. It's like you're supposed to rise up out of the ashes of your old self into your 5D self. And so this is a huge transformation and big shift and changes happening at the core of who you are. And this is exactly what Aries Energies helps us to do, to really anchor into ourself and even our higher self more fully. You're being guided to do a big energetic declearing of your life, but this could be patterns within yourself. We're being guided that we have to really make those core changes within ourselves to change who we are and what we're attracting. And so some of you guys are healing with this Saturn and Aries, self-abandonment and wounds around that. It might not even be with your twin flame. It might be old previous wounds. Oftentimes you have certain karmic patterns from karmic partners of your past, childhood, things like that aren't that great. And when your twin flame comes along, they can either play out these patterns, mirror them, or even trigger them in some way so that you can heal things deeper within yourself. And so divine feminine always heals a lot of abandonment wounds and self-abandonment wounds. And this is ways that you have not been speaking up or communicating out of fear of loss or abandonment or whatever it is, people pleasing, not having boundaries. These things are coming up big time and have been coming up big time, but even more so with this Saturn and Aries alignment too. So you might be kind of finding yourself again. And I think this is powerful, the bigger picture, because oftentimes people don't see the bigger picture, but some of you guys may be navigating twin flame separation. You might be with this person but preparing for union, or even in union. It doesn't matter the phase or the stage that you're in, but oftentimes you may have to pass through certain phases or stages. We can call these initiations and that you're going through. And sometimes when you're going through spaces where you're navigating either by yourself or with your twin flame, you're being guided to really, really get in alignment with yourself, because any outer union is always a reflection of your union with yourself, and to get into a higher alignment, but to really, really find yourself in this connection and to really, really make sure it's a healthy connection. So when you're by yourself, you might be finding yourself again, maybe without this person, or maybe they're not around. This is just for who that's for. I've awakened to our connection. I know we have a timeless bond between us. And so a lot of you guys are learning about this connection through going through it, that it doesn't go anywhere. And the biggest block to union or within unions is negative energy and negative thoughts and things going on within us. They can create resistance within the connection or whatever it is. Having to learn how to transmute what is coming up, especially we've all been through a lot karmically, and transmuting and healing things that are coming up currently that may be connected to old wounds or old patterns is coming up big time. learning to transmute any negative energy to stay in this higher frequency that twin flame union requires. It's always a powerful energy, and we're learning how to channel that fire energy with all this Aries energy. Again, we're back at the Aries energy. We're learning how to channel that, and we are within the twin flame connection too, because this is powerful energy to be working with, and sometimes we're just learning how to use that too. So you're learning how to tap into that twin flame energy. I'm resisting my desire for you because it's too late now. We've grown apart and you've moved on. And this isn't for everyone, but sometimes we think that. And I know that because I do this deep work with a lot of twin flames on the regular, right? And even in situations that are not going ideal, okay, we could say that. And people say, I'm done with this, I'm done with it. And I feel very sad. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And like, not funny, right? Okay, jokes aside. Okay, yes, and it's very sad. And I can tell from the universal side of things, the universe is going to encourage you and always want you together with this person. Doesn't matter how much time it takes, whatever's happening, doesn't matter the circumstances, you will end up with this person. But oftentimes we can get in these ego cycles of not believing it or whatever it is. And this is where the deepest work usually is triggered to the surface, and any negative thoughts, beliefs, programming. We're really reprogramming a lot right now. You're on a sacred journey. This is understanding who you truly are. This journey brings self-discovery. So this is helping you to find yourself and to tap into yourself, even anything negatively. Like a lot of people, sometimes people will say, okay, my DM has done X, Y, and Z. This could require you to see their side of things without any of the ego in the way, and to actually step back and look at their side and see whatever has come up or whatever they're going through. Or even just to see that higher view of kind of how it fits together. You're on a powerful journey, but this is also a journey of healing and spiritual awakening. And oftentimes they will show us things we love about ourselves at first and things we may need to heal within ourselves. This could be things that triggers within you, or things that are showing you through the dynamic. If it's familiar patterns and wounds that are coming up, it's so you can heal certain things. Okay, so we have two cards. We have sacral focus right here. You're healing money wounds, okay? And this is like around money, career. This is status, the third dimension. But this is like, you are really, really powerful in the seeds that you're planting right now. And every thought, every belief, every frequency we're sending out there has a vibrational impact and effect on what we're manifesting and what we're creating. So you might be guided to really heal your sacral chakra during this time. And my favorite way to heal the sacral is, I say patching up, but fixing energy leaks. There are situations in your life, this could just be friends, family, old connections, that aren't really great for you, that could be affecting your energy and you don't even know it. We call these energy cords, right? So, you know, this could be from old stuff. It could be from old wounds, patterns. Maybe this is a great time with Saturn, all the Saturn energy, to do a cord cutting or energy clearing, especially if you felt tired, stuck, stagnant, and involving your twin flame situation. This is your twin flame reading, right? And it just kind of depends on how that looks. So this is like sacral energy clear up. I'm going to be talking about this a lot through the rest of the year because we are in that push energy for the new earth, really for the 5D, right? This is opening up to the 5D, opening up your frequency to the 5D. Your twin flame has showed you any ways you're blocked or not in alignment with that. Really tapping into your gifts. Twin flames didn't just come here to do the Hallmark romantic movies, although we want that, right? Yes, we want that. But you guys came here to save the planet. Like on the higher, a lot of people are already on this, I'll call it a bag, right? Doing this. You came here to tap into your gifts and to clear your intergenerational trauma and to really, really reprogram and to step into these leadership roles. That might make you a little awkward or a little bit uncomfortable, but you're gonna notice that you're rising up fast as you're healing and doing the work. So this is my 5D, New Earth, what you guys are meant for. You're not here to do the Muggle Matrix life of like the old. We're here to bring in new ways and to really incorporate that into your life and how you're living your life, the awakening, right, and changing your life. And so we can work with Source or Spirit to guide us through some of these changes. Our spirit guides and our angels are always helping us with this process of what to be doing, what to be working on. But this is a time of letting go of things that are not serving you. And I don't mean people and connections so much. I mean within yourself, of working through patterns that are rooted in attachment. So this is like deeper programming and patterns that might be coming up so that you can really shift into this new version of yourself. Okay, so we have Archella Joy, prioritize play and pleasure. And I love this because this is like my Venus energy. And while we're out of Taurus season, we've shifted into Gemini season, is help us to get a little bit more rooted in what feels good, our senses. I've brought Divine Feminine cards today. These are Divine Feminine angel cards. So really anchoring into the Divine Feminine. I see a lot of, not to pick, women very in the masculine energy, and this is being open to receive what you're asking for. This could be if in your separation, are you even truly capable of holding this union at that point? Have you healed enough so that the back and forth stuff isn't happening? Or in union, are you really receptive and open enough to ask, to be open enough for what you're manifesting and what you're trying to call in? It just kind of depends with that. So this is being more receptive and more open to what you're asking for, no matter what that might look like during this time. Make sure that you're healed enough for it. Those that don't heal, they play out the same old cycles and things go the same. And so yes, twin flames, I feel a phase of this is healing what comes up karmically, and your twin flame may help you through that, whatever's coming up. But needing to heal so that it's not going the same way and you're getting higher results or better results. This is why the healing is so important and working through blocks. These are heart chakra blocks too. So we have the sacral has come up already. We have the heart chakra. Make sure that you're opening your heart to this connection. This could be letting go of old wounds and cycles or old timelines of how things went with your twin flame in the past. You're having to completely release these to manifest better moving forward. So some type of heart chakra stuff coming up. Your twin flame masculine could have really hurt you, or you could have just been really hurt in previous connections and not able to open up fully to this person. So this is like trust issues and wounds like that. It just kind of depends. Needing to forgive and let go of something though. Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles, and this is like, okay, it's a block again, and this is around money and missing opportunities, okay? This is having a lack mentality. Really healing is going to start with your mindset. Okay, I know I've really been diving into this stuff of like obviously healing this stuff, and a lot of healing our finances. Obviously, it's an energy thing I talk about. I always go back to the energy, but some of it is belief systems attached to that we might have picked up in childhood or from previous traumas. Yes, you can have money trauma and things like that, or whatever it is. So healing something here, but also reprogramming your beliefs so that you can tap into more abundance. And we can easily do this with current jobs, businesses, projects, whatever we got going on currently, to really stay positive and aligned with things flowing and doing good. If we think something's not going to do good, it'll be profitable, it probably won't be. If we begin to, reframe our narratives and thoughts and change our beliefs, things start to flow a lot better too. This is finding your flow. Perhaps this connection is affecting your finances. I see this with people putting too much of a focus on their divine masculine. Usually it has an opposite effect and can cause them to go into energy overload or runner mode or whatever it is. If you're putting all of your focus and not enough on, like if you were by yourself, you'd probably be doing your own projects and hobbies and job or whatever. A lot of times people get really swept up in connection in general in an unhealthy way and begin to not do the things they would do if single, obviously, and to put all of their focus on this person, which can be a little too much for the other person. It literally makes people a little crazy, I always say, right? Of that energy all day. Like if you're sitting there fixated on someone all day long, we're telepathic beings, we're picking up signals and thoughts and things on a telepathic level. It can be too much for people. So the more that you can pull yourself energy back, and I have a hard time with this too because I am an empath, so it's very easy for empaths to get very wrapped up in other people a little bit extra. So having to, and I don't want to use that word with Aries, get a little selfish, which can be hard for you when you're wired up the other way, especially for feminines, divine feminines who are kind of reprogrammed to do everything for everyone else and take care of everyone else but themselves. And then we get into the self-abandonment, self-neglect realm that we're trying to heal with this Saturn and Aries. So you're needing to maybe detach a little bit energetically. Doesn't mean that you're not in the connection, whether you're with them in person or whatever or not. You're still very, I don't want to say in this connection. It's always there, but it actually will thrive and do better the better you're doing. And so we're learning that in our relationships, that we really have to, put ourselves first or take care of certain things. So we have this Ace of Swords. It's a breakthrough, and this is like new beginnings, but it's also clearing karma kind of energy, which is very, very powerful in these energies. So you're being guided to really clear out any of your own karma. This could be old programs, patterns, connections, things still not going great. So we have this strange mix of cards today, but I'm flowing with it. Okay, so we have the Four of Wands. This is in reverse, and usually this is my reunion union energy. This is indicating a block, and it's solar plexus. It's self-doubt and low self-esteem, and so this can be easy to have to go into some of these things. So with this card, it's indicating some type of solar plexus block that's rooted in old inner child stuff, and we will probably spend a lot of time continuing, hopefully if you guys are, to work on your healing journey to unravel and heal very deep core wounds. And then I almost forgot, today we have Chiron in Aries, so it's bringing up these Chiron wounds, and this is really good stuff to get into, to know yourself on a deeper level of what these wounds are that you're healing across the course of the lifetime. I always tell you guys that me and my twin flame actually have the same Chiron sign, and I know a lot of twin flames that might touch in these areas. I know we both have the same Saturn and Chiron, and so you might notice that you share wounding with your twin flame, and if you didn't before, you probably do after, if you guys have been triggering each other, right? Okay, but usually you come to planet Earth with certain core lessons to work through and move through together, by the way, that you signed up for together. These lessons are initiations. I said they're tests. The tests are not straightforward. They're like little jigsaw puzzle tests. You could think you passed and you fail when you're dealing with Earth School and reading things, but they are tests and challenges. So Saturn loves to throw obstacles in our way and to see what kind of person you are or how you're dealing with these. And this is exactly what twin flames go through, to test the connection, or you guys to see where you're at or whatever it is. So you might feel that you have old wounds coming up in today's energy. Chiron is playing a role in this, and it depends on what your Chiron placement is. It also depends on what your Saturn placement is, as we're navigating heavy Saturn energy right now too, as to what those wounds are. And they could come at any time over the course of your lifetime, but with mine, I noticed I didn't even know because I was asleep. I was working through the same lessons or core wounds, and that they might be very much coming up again with your twin flame. You could, be really, really healed, and this person could come in and kind of shake things up. It just depends on what that narrative is that you're playing out with them and what you came here to heal. But let's go ahead and do a quick reading for the Divine Masculine side of things. Divine Masculine Collective, Divine Feminine. If you're watching, direct messages from your masculine, to Divine Feminine. You were my home, and now I feel like I'm out in the cold. And so they might feel like that too. A lot of times Divine Feminines project a lot on the Divine Masculine. Their emotions, their feelings, what's going on with them, their wounds, and they don't even realize it. Oftentimes, not all the time, but sometimes Divine Masculine doesn't know how to deal with that. It triggers them and their insecurities, or they might even step back. It just kind of depends on that too. So if this person isn't around you, or maybe they're around you but not all the time, they miss your energy so much when you're not around. It just might be something they can't put their words on. Trust me, they miss your presence if not around. No one ever loved me again the way you did. I never appreciated you till you were gone. Okay, so now this isn't for everyone, but some of you guys are going to navigate other connections, and I know people don't understand this, but look at Earth. Oftentimes we've had other connections to navigate, especially as our relationships are generally rooted in lessons that we need to learn, or self-work that we need to do, things we need to heal, or things we need to resolve karmically. If this person so some of you guys are dealing with, this is for both sides, but this is a reading for Divine Masculine with a karmic partner existing, or they've gone on to date other people, or they're single or whatever, right? And this just could be karmic stuff they need to work through or need to work on, and this can be difficult for anyone to go through. It tends to trigger the shadow aspects, maybe for both too. It just kind of depends. That's how they learn about the connection and figure it out on some way. Now, a lot of you guys aren't going to like this. Generally, when they go off with the karmic, you don't see that they actually owe out karma for how they've treated you, and it usually comes back through that connection, because we have a lot of that happening currently with this stuff. Okay, so it just kind of depends. Like if they've hurt you or whatever, discarded you, they have it come back around. And a lot of people, this can be a rough awakening, and it can trigger more wounding and things like that. So it's not great. It just kind of depends. If you are twin flames, you will always find yourself back to each other. But I mean, in this lifetime specifically, because of the awakening, because of the ascension, the energies are going too high. Everyone is being guided to clear their own karmic baggage. Sometimes karmics go in that category and we don't realize that too. Some of the karmics that, it could be on both sides, but we're going to stick to the divine masculine reading. If you're dealing with karmics like exes, old people, old friends that you're still connected to that aren't very good for you, or even current partners or whatever, future partners we could say, they're going to be bad for your energy and probably bad for you, your well-being, your mental well-being, and maybe even financial well-being. Okay, these are all telltale signs that you're wrapped up in some type of karmic connection. Now, twin flames actually have things designed perfectly. Whatever you are going through, it's been designed perfectly for you guys to help to trigger these things to the surface. Okay, it doesn't always feel pleasant to go through. Generally, if there are other karmic contracts that needed to be resolved, because we have two different people working on things, they've met the twin flame, the divine feminine, for that reason, to help them through it. It could be to motivate them, to remind them, to wake them up more, or maybe so they can move through these contracts faster. It just depends on your unique situation. Why I always say to get a reading if you need it. My heart keeps coming back to you even though I know you've lost faith in me. Okay, so they might know that, divine masculine might know that you don't fully trust them. It could be from hurts from the past or just even whatever's going on there, okay? Time to change how you're seeing things. There's some red flags and you're not seeing things through. Sometimes you guys are seeing things through ego lens and what you want and missing out on things. Now, I always can hone in on these things really easily, but it's to clear these things, because if there's challenges, there's blocks, problems, you want to be looking at these things. You want to be realistic about these things so that you can bring healing to these areas if possible. So this is like divine masculine. Maybe you're seeing more, I don't want to say more complete your divine feminine. You probably can easily see their issues, wounds, and triggers, and ways they're acting, and ways they need healing. But this is to help you to have deeper understanding of the situation and things like that too. Okay, so this is the masculine card coming through. We have all this Aries energy, Chiron in Aries, Saturn in Aries. It is to help to heal the divine masculine and wounds within the divine masculine, okay? And this could be patterns that have come up or whatever it is. Okay, so, and I love this because this is the winter card. And once again, we have this messages about, in a couple of months. Some of you guys in separation, this might be huge for coming together or seeing each other in person. Some of you guys in union, this is like next level coming up of your timeline, especially if you guys are getting along. It's going to feel, it feels so good, okay? That's why twin flame can bring a lot of highs and lows. You're together, it feels amazing, you're apart, it brings up another layer, and it just kind of depends on that. Remember that you came here to do this twin flame journey for a reason, to help you with your awakening and your ascension. So we have Ascension card coming up, and this is like time to awaken your inner angel, divine masculine. You are angelic, and you guys should be helping and encouraging each other to become that version of yourselves, or at the least seeing it, because sometimes we see it all distorted and things like that through the ego. So this is like time to pull back and relax during this time. Literally, time to work on your energy, time to work on yourself, and to connect with the angels and your angelic self. This will help you with integrating that in. You have a lot of intergenerational trauma and karma. Most of it was not your own to carry. Empath message. This is healing things at the root, healing your root chakra. I've spent a lot of time writing about this stuff, and I know in my second book I wrote a lot about the chakra system and unpacking that from the root, because that's where a lot of our ancestral baggage comes from, a lot of our patterns, programming. We're really healing that too. So you've been clearing a lot karmically. A lot of this was ancestral karma. Some of you guys might have families or children. It might be connected to your own family line or your karmics, or it could have just been inner child wounds and things like that too. So we have my Six of Pentacles. This is getting in a good energy flow. And a lot of times this is exactly why you guys go through the process you do, so that you can be in equal energy exchange. We talked about unhealthy divine feminine sending all of their energy to this person, really bad energy flow. We need it reciprocated and even. So it depends Divine Masculines, when you guys are guided to step back, it's because the energy isn't right, or you've been guided to. You have to pay attention to that too, because it helps with the energy flow. I think one of the hardest things Divine Masculine goes through is knowing that their Divine Feminine is not ready or needing to heal more and having to step back for a moment and things like that. So this is getting your energy right, your time, your energy, your money, and really healing these areas for masculine too, because we have the Knight of Swords, and this is like, you're going to come in very fast when ready. A lot of the Divine Feminines push and they're not ready. It depends. So this is like coming in higher energy and going after what you want and what you desire. And this is like, I always love the Knight of Swords. It's very fast and moving energy and making things happen. Like, it's not slow like the Pentacle. It is like rushing in and whirlwind and things happening, because we have the Four of Cups, and you've been spending a lot of time thinking, and this is also, you might have been even refusing offers, like if your Divine Feminine was reaching out or trying to talk to you, but you feel you've missed some opportunities and now you're feeling a little stagnant. That means things not flowing. And make sure you're not focusing on the negative with this card. And this is like, sometimes you don't appreciate what you had until it's gone kind of card. And this isn't for everyone, but this is because a lot of you guys are in union. I remind you guys of that. Yes, I see all these little groups and they're like, is any twin flames in union? Yeah, most of them are, right? And beautiful, doing beautiful things on these unions. I'm just reminding you of that. So it doesn't matter your situation of where you're at on the journey, because it is part of your journey and your spiritual journey. But this is also, some of you guys are feeling a little stagnant or stuck. And that could be like with the connection, if you're in union, you need to bring some new energy and new outcomes and new perspectives and maybe doing some new things together. But this could be also, if you guys are in separation, of like really feeling that energy of missing your twin flame Divine Feminine and feeling, you know, stuck and stagnant and you don't know what to do. And I always think that's why it's important that you guys are both healing, so you can bring this together easier and more harmony too. So this is kind of a daydreaming energy. Maybe you feel like you're not quite here. You're tapping into the astrals, you're tapping into the 5D. You're kind of here but not here, you know, not quite where you want to be with things too. So just reminding you, if you do feel stuck, stagnant, need a shift, that's what those healings are for. They really will help you with that and to get things moving. But I'm going to go on that note anyways. If you guys do need me, just book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. Check out the healings I have on there. They're really going to help you with your journey.